this a try. This should be like my gentle classes. So let's get started. You can lie down on your back to start. Have your knees bent, feet flat. You can take your feet apart and let your knees fall in against each other. Then rest your hands on your belly. You can close your eyes and start to listen to your breath. Let your belly soften and relax. Let your hips, your upper back, and your head feel heavy on the ground. If you notice you're breathing with your mouth open, try gently closing your lips and feel the air flow in and out of your nose. Let your shoulders relax into the ground. Release any tightness you might feel in your neck or your throat. Relax your jaw and your forehead. And try to relax all the muscles around your eyes. You may notice your heart rate starting to slow down. Maybe your breathing feels a little smoother. You can gradually deepen your breath. As you breathe in through your nose, feel your abdomen expand into your hands. And as you breathe out, feel your belly deflate. Slowly breathe in through your nose, letting your abdomen expand to the front, to the sides, to the back. And slowly let the air out through your nose and feel your abdomen shrink back down. You can keep going, just slowly breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. If you start to notice your shoulders lifting and lowering with your breath, or there's tension in your neck or shoulders, try and let your upper body relax. And practice moving more from the belly, the sides of the abdomen and the back. can take one more slow inhale, let your belly expand. And then take your time as you breathe out. And as you finish your exhale, you can lower your arms to the ground. Let your head roll from side to side. And as your head comes back to the middle, you can walk your feet together and bring your knees over your chest. They can just stay here or you can hug them in. And try rocking from side to side. Just a little rock to massage your spine. As you're moving on your back, notice if the back of your neck shortened at all as you brought your knees in. See if you can lengthen out the back of the neck on the ground by reaching the crown of the head up. Sorry. Bring your knees to the middle. Place your left hand on your left knee, your right hand on your right knee. Let your hands support the weight of your legs. And start to circle your knees in opposite directions. You can start with small circles and gradually widen them, or just stay with a small circle. And then circle your knees in the other direction. These are nice and slow. Just let your thighs glide through your hip sockets. Thigh bone. And bring your knees together. Place your feet on the ground with your knees bent. And then let your arms rest on the mat, on the ground, and straighten your left leg towards the ceiling. It doesn't have to be completely straight. If you feel a stretch in the back of the leg and the calf, as you stretch your toes down, that's enough. If you can straighten it, you can do that too. And reach your toes straight up towards the ceiling, and then down towards your shin. Straight up to the ceiling, down towards your shin. And then try circling the foot in both directions. Okay, then relax your foot. Bend your left knee, you can hug it into your chest. And try to relax all the muscles here at the front of your hip. Relax your belly. Just let your hands support the weight of the leg. And when you're ready, bring your hands back down. Straighten your left leg to the ceiling again. And move your foot all around. Any movement that feels good. Feel a stretch to your calf, the muscles of your foot. And slowly bring the left foot to the ground. We'll do the same thing with the right leg. You can straighten the right leg towards the ceiling. And point your toes straight up. Feel a stretch right across the top of the foot, the shin. And then reach your toes towards your shin. Point your toes. And reach the toes down. And start to move the foot in different directions, maybe circling each way. Then relax your foot, bend your knee and hug it in. And you just have a light grip on your knee. Let the shoulders and the neck stay relaxed. Bring your hands back down, straighten your right leg again towards the ceiling and move your foot all around. Bring your right foot to the ground. And then take your feet apart, maybe hip width or so. Ground your feet so you feel your heels pushing down, your toes pushing down the whole foot. And lift your hips away from the ground. You can pause at the top. Just make sure your weight hasn't shifted on your feet. It's still the heels pushing down, the toes pushing down. And then see if you can extend your hips just an inch or two higher. And very slowly roll your spine to the ground, one vertebra at a time. Let your hips be the last thing to roll down. And once the hips touch the ground, push into your feet, lift your hips back up. Notice if your weight moved on your feet. Sometimes you roll to the outer edge of your foot. So just keep the whole foot grounded and then try extending the hips an inch or two higher. Good. Slowly roll your spine to the ground. And as your hips settle onto the ground, you can straighten your legs out. Separate your feet. Reach your arms over your head. As you stretch up through your fingers, point your toes, getting a full body stretch. At the same time, try to lengthen out the back of your neck on the ground and push the back of your rib cage into the ground as well. And when you're all stretched out, let your arms come down by your sides. Relax your arms and your legs fully. And then one leg at a time, bend your knees. Turn to your left side. You can cradle your head in your left arm and rest here. Stay for a couple of breaths, seeing how it feels to breathe in this side lying position. Feel your abdomen gently expand as you inhale, contract as you exhale. Good. Use your hands to push yourself up. And we'll come to our hands and knees on the ground. You can do this anywhere. I'm just doing it on a rug in the kitchen. So come to your hands and knees. The hands can be under the shoulders, the knees under the hips. I've never actually taught on camera, so it's kind of nice to get feedback of what I'm doing. Okay, look between your hands. Make a little space between your knees. Don't remember if I said that. Keep looking down between your hands as you start to tuck your tailbone under. Feel your lower back round, feel your shoulders begin to round, and then relax your neck. Without moving your head, start to lift your tailbone up. Feel your lower back arch. Feel your upper back begin to arch. And then let the head lift last. We'll do that again. Tuck your tailbone under. Slowly round your back, round your shoulders, relax your neck. And keep the head still as your tailbone lifts first. Then your lower back arches, your upper back, and then the head lifts. And then you can incorporate your breath as you move like this. Breathe out through your nose as your tailbone tucks, your spine slowly rounds. And then take a long inhale as you lift your tailbone, arch your spine, and lift your head. Right, exhale as your tailbone tucks, your spine rounds, your head comes down. Inhale as you lift your tailbone, arch your back, and lift your head. So do that a few more times at your own pace. Come back to the middle. You can tuck your toes under. You might need help tucking your baby toes under. And then lean back a little or a lot towards your heels. Walk your hands forward and relax your neck. Tuck your chin just enough to look back towards your feet. And lengthen out the back of the neck. Pay attention to your breath. Feel the air moving in and out of your nose. You can lift your head back up, and walk your hands in, lift your hips, and release your toes. Good. I'm going to scoot back. Okay, we'll come into a lunge from here. You can place your left foot forward. Try to have your back knee, hip, and shoulder stacked. And then rest your hands on your hip bones. And let your tailbone tuck under as your hips tilt back or your pelvis tilts back. And then tilt your pelvis forward, letting your tailbone lift. Just keep going back and forth. Rock the pelvis back and forward. It's not a huge movement, it's pretty subtle. But just see what movement you can find here. And once you have a feel for these two extremes, all the way forward, all the way back, try to find a middle point. Hold that as you release your arms. Rotate your palms out, and then slowly reach up towards the ceiling. And stretch up through the fingers. Let your shoulders reach, lift, And feel length through the sides of your waist. And then let your arms float back down. Do that again. Rotate the palms out, reach wide and up. And then let the arms slowly come down. You can make fists with your hands. Try to hold a tight fist and keep your elbows straight. We're going to circle the shoulders. You're going to take your shoulders up towards your ears, slide them back, down, forward, and up again. Just keep moving them in this slow, big circle, as big as you can make it. You might hear some noises in your shoulders as you move them, but if it's not painful, just keep going through this slow range of motion. And try the other direction. And then come back to the middle, release your fingers, move them around. Then take your fingers behind your ears with your elbows wide. Try to keep your elbows wide as you slowly twist to the left. And let the movement happen from your rib cage up. So it's just your chest turning. Good. Come back to the middle. We'll try that again. Twist to your left. This time we'll hold a little bit longer. You can keep your hands behind your ears, or you can reach your left arm back, your right arm forward, and reach the fingers in opposite directions. And then place the hands back. Slowly unwind and bring your hands to the ground. You can step the knees together and then bring the right foot forward. Come up into a lunge. If you have a pillow or anything, you can always put that under your back knee. Bring your hands to your hips and start to rock the hips again. Tuck the tailbone, let the pelvis tilt back, and then tilt the pelvis forward, letting the tailbone lift. Go back and forth a few times. And find your middle and hold that. Release your arms. Rotate your palms out and reach wide and up. Okay. Stay here for a second, just reaching up through your fingers. Visualize the sides of your body getting longer instead of just opening up the front of the body. And then turn your palms out, let your arms float down. Once more, reach wide and up. And then let your arms come down. Good. We'll make fists again with the hands. Keep your elbows as straight as you can. And start to circle the shoulders up towards the ears, back. Yeah, up towards the ears, back, down, forward, and up again. Sometimes it feels harder in one shoulder than the other. Sometimes it just feels hard, period. And try the other direction. And let your shoulders relax. Release your fingers. And then take your fingers behind your ears, your elbows wide. And we'll twist to the right. And slowly turn your chest. Keep the elbows wide or as wide as you can. And then come back to the middle. And try again. Turn slowly to the right. It's not a huge movement. You can keep your elbows bent or try reaching the left arm forward, the right arm back, and reaching in opposite directions. And bring your hands back to your ears. Unwind. And bring your hands down as you step your knees together. And take your hands a little further forward. Lower your chest to the ground. And rest your head on your hands. You can separate the feet a little. Let the hips relax. Let your breathing slow down. When you're ready, you can push the front of your hips into the ground and keep them pushing down as you bend your right knee, trying to squeeze your right heel towards your hips. And this can go in stages. Maybe you start here, squeeze a little closer, but just try not to let the front of your hips lift. It feels easier, but keep the hips down as the heel squeezes in. So at this point, the backs of your leg, or the back of your right leg should be working pretty hard. Your heel is trying to squeeze in close. Now when you feel like you can't bring the heel any closer, reach back with your right arm. If your foot is right there, you can easily grab it, gently pull it in closer, without letting the front of the hip lift. So you're still pushing the front of the hip down. If the foot is just out of reach, or it hurts your back to reach back, you can keep your head on your hands, and just work on squeezing the heel in. Use the strength of your leg. If you're holding your foot, slowly let go and lower your right leg, right foot to the ground. Relax your hips. You can rock them from side to side. And once more, push the front of your hips into the ground. Keep them pushing down as you bend your left knee and start to squeeze the left heel in towards your hip. So if you can back with the left hand. If the foot is right there, you can gently pull it in, keeping the front of the hip pushing down. If it's just too far or it hurts to reach, you don't need to. Rest your head on your hands and keep squeezing that heel in. If you're holding the left foot, slowly let go and bring your left leg to the ground. Relax your hips. You can place your hands under your shoulders. Slowly push your chest away from the ground and sit back towards your heels. Relax your neck. The knees can go closer together or wider, whatever feels good. Lift your head and walk your hands in. And place your hands on the ground. Spread your fingers out wide. Feel your whole hand grip the mat, grip the ground, or carpet, or whatever. And then tuck your toes under, and lift your hips up and back. Look back towards your feet. And then start to pedal your feet. Bend one knee, stretch the opposite heel towards the ground, and then switch. Just keep alternating legs as you stretch out your calves, your ankles. And walk your feet up to your hands. Soften your knees and push through your heels as you come up to stand. I am out of the frame. Sorry, now take your feet wide. It's really up to you how wide. Now with your hands resting on your hips, start to circle your hips. Slow, big circles. That's kind of the theme of today, I think. And see if you can do these circles without really bending your knees. So your legs are staying straight and it's just your hips moving. Your chest is kind of going along for the ride. And try the other direction. You can take your feet wider or closer together if you want. And then come back to the middle. You can heel toe your feet a little closer together, hip width or slightly wider. Then keep your hands on your hips. Soften your knees so they're a bit springy. And start to tilt your hips forward as you bring your spine down. So your spine is one long line as you lower. When you start to feel a stretch in the backs of your legs, you can pause there, maybe place your hands at your thighs. If that feels okay, you can stay there or come down a little further, maybe bringing your elbows to your thighs. And finally, if you want, you can let your arms and your chest hang forward. Just relax your neck, relax your shoulders. You can let the upper body sway a bit from side to side. And slowly place your hands up on your thighs and lift your chest about halfway up. Keep your gaze down, your chin tucked, Draw the shoulders back. And then slowly lower down. If you were at your elbows, come to your elbows. If your whole upper body was draped forward, let your head come down. Now begin to notice where your weight is falling on your feet here. Maybe you are leaning back in your heels. Maybe you're gripping slightly with the toes. Maybe you roll to the edges of your feet, or you roll to your arches. Just notice what's happening and try to even the weight out a little on your feet. And one more time, bring your hands to your thighs and lift the chest halfway up. Feel the crown of your head stretch forward. The shoulders go back. And bend your knees enough that you can bring your fingertips to the ground and step one leg back, lower your knee. Step the other leg back and lower your knee and sit back. Good. So we're almost finished. And bring your legs in front of you. Give yourself space to roll back and lie back down. Have your knees bent, your feet flat, your arms resting by your sides. Then place your right ankle on your left thigh. And try to have the ankle on the thigh, not the foot, so you can easily move the foot around. And reach your toes towards your shin. Put a little pressure into your thigh with your ankle, so your right knee moves away from your chest. Then hold that shape as you rock your legs from side to side. This can be a very small movement, it can be a little bit bigger. Just see how it feels through the outside of your right hip. And then you can slowly place the right foot back down and bring your left ankle to your right thigh. Reach your toes towards your shin. Push your ankle into your thigh and feel the left knee start to move away from the chest. And then hold that position as you rock your legs. Just a gentle rock, side to side. Lower your left foot to the ground. Bring your knees over your chest. Stay like this or hug the knees in. And let your legs rock side to side. You can place your feet back down. And take your arms slightly away from your torso and turn your palms to the ceiling. You can keep your knees bent if this feels good on your back. You can also straighten your legs out if you prefer. Make any little adjustments. Once you're settled, you can close your eyes. Let your arms and your legs feel heavy. Feel your breath flowing in and out of your nose. Relax the muscles of your face, of your jaw. Relax your hips and your shoulders. Relax any tension in your chest or your belly. You can slowly move your fingers and move your toes. One leg at a time, bend your knees. And turn to your right side and rest there. You can cradle your head in your arm. Bring your knees up in line with your hips. And with your eyes closed, push yourself up to a seated position. Try to sit up nice and tall. You can move the flesh of your bum to the side so you can sit right on the edges of your hips. Feel the crown of your head stretch up as your shoulders relax down. Once more, pay attention to your breath. Follow each breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Let your belly be soft, relaxed as you breathe. And slowly lower your chin towards your chest until you feel a stretch at the back of your neck. And gradually open your eyes. And lift your head back up. Thank you. I hope that was useful.